Darnell Savage Jr. was selected with the 21st overall pick in the 2019 NFL Draft. A member of the All-Rookie team, Savage shined in his NFL debut. Standing at 5'10" and almost 200 pounds, he isn't the biggest safety there is, but the hardest hitter in the 2019 NFL Draft. Many people really don't know about this budding star, so it makes me ask, who is Darnell Savage? In the Who Is series, we go through the backstories of up-and-coming collegiate and professional athletes. If you like what you see, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, before we get into the video, we have to answer the trivia question from last week's video. Last Monday's trivia question was, what active NFL star did Terry McLaurin pass with his 19 touchdown catch on the Ohio State's all-time ranks? The answer to the question? Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas. Now, let's get into this week's video. Darnell Savage Jr. was born on July 22, 1997 in Salisbury, Maryland. His father, Darnell Savage Sr., put Darnell into the game of football at a very young age. At the age of 5, Darnell was already playing flag football. Savage Sr. recalls an interaction he had with his young boy in Maryland. There was a Green Bay Packers football player at the flag football camp he brought his young son to. He had a conversation with the past member of the Packers who he couldn't recall his name, but he could recant the entire conversation. Savage Sr. said, quote, he asked him how old he was, and my son kept saying 5. He said, no, you can't be 5. And I said, well, he is only 5. And he said, holy crap, you're going to be a good one. Now, Darnell Savage Sr. saw that his son was going to be special from a young age, and at the age of 7, Savage Sr. decided it was time for his son to play tackle football. But, unfortunately for them, there was no tackle football league where they live for 7-year-old kids. So, his father, along with a friend, defensive tackle for the Atlanta Falcons, created themselves a 14 league. Darnell Savage Jr. showed that he could be a potential star playing on this team throughout his youth. Now, when he was about to enter high school, his father coached at the local high school and knew that he would not have success there. Now, he moved his son over 90 miles to his new school, and Darnell Savage Jr. attended Caravel Academy in Bear, Delaware, for high school football. As a sophomore, Savage Jr. helped lead his team to a state championship. He had such a strong year and performance that he immediately began fielding offers from over 12 different D1 schools. These weren't any chump schools. These schools included Maryland and Penn State. Now, Darnell Savage Jr. was at the top of the world. He had offers rolling in and a state championship. But he unfortunately would face a harsh reality. During the first game of his junior season, he broke his femur, a huge blow to Savage and his team. But breaking his leg was not the only unfortunate event for Savage. When he got injured, many of those college teams pulled their offers off the table. There was only one team that stayed on for Savage, and it was Maryland. He needed 2 screws in his leg, but Maryland stayed hot pursuit of the young star. He soon after officially committed to Maryland, and Savage was thrilled to be there. His dream of playing professional football was coming closer to becoming true. Savage quickly became a star at Maryland. He delivered strong, hard-hitting tackles and was dominant in the run game. But during his sophomore year, he absolutely flourished. He enjoyed 59 total tackles, 3.5 for a loss, 1 sack, 1 interception, and 3 passes defensed. He was very impressive and was primed for a huge junior season. And he had a huge junior season. He accumulated 59 total tackles, 3 interceptions, 8 passes defensed, a forced fumble, and a touchdown. Savage Jr. began to already appear on the NFL radar. At this point, he was projected more of a second-round pick. He shot up his draft stock in the next calendar year. First, it was his senior season. He recorded 52 more tackles, including 5.5 tackles for a loss. He caught 4 interceptions, returned 1 for a touchdown, and defensed 2 more passes. He did amazing work with Maryland, and which leads us to our video's trivia question. What Maryland Terrapin was just traded for a first-round pick in the NFL? Comment below. His draft stock was creeping up, and the NFL Combine soon approached. He had a fantastic combine, where he ran a 4.36 second 40-yard dash. He followed it up with a 10.5-foot broad jump, a 40-inch vertical jump, and a 7-second 3-cone drill. With these numbers, Savage was seen to have raw ability with near-perfect measurables. He caught the eyes of many teams, but no one more than the Green Bay Packers. The Packers selected Savage with the 21st overall pick in the draft, and they were absolutely ecstatic that he fell to them that late in the first round. They did not expect him to fall right into their laps, but he did. He He was so thrilled to be selected by the team that had a player recognize him and his talents as a 5-year-old child. Savage was expected to be a member of a young and up-and-coming secondary almost immediately. He played alongside Adrian Amos, Jair Alexander, and a young Kevin King. A stud young secondary like this one should gel together quite quickly. And they did that in 2019, as Savage recorded 2 interceptions and 2 forced fumbles, along with picking up 55 tackles. Along with his front 7 and Za'Darius Smith, they led the team to a 13-3 record and an NFC Conference Championship appearance. The Packers defense has a bright future with these young stars for years to come. Now remember, if you like what you saw in this video, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned in next week where we answer this week's video trivia question.